Hi, my name is Angela Galloway, and I'm going to be your STA220 instructor for this second biterm that we're going to start soon. And I wanted to send a video first to introduce myself, and then also to kind of introduce our class. And after you receive this video, you can start working on anything in our class. You can start looking through the Blackboard shell, and you can also get started on some of our homework assignments if you would like. Of course, our second biterm course is 8 weeks long, and so we pretty much have something due every week. I try to make due dates the same, so I have them on Saturday night, so you kind of know what to expect and kind of how to plan your week according to when those due dates are. The first week we will have a Blackboard syllabus quiz that's due on Wednesday, and you have to do that in order to stay in the class. So that basically is just going over some questions from the syllabus. So just to show that you have a general idea of what's expected in the class and that you have read the syllabus. And then on Saturday of next week, that first week, you'll have Unit 1 material due. All right, so the first week you do kind of have 2 due dates, but after that it really will just be 1. So I wanted to look at our Blackboard page real quick. So if you are new to taking one of our online classes, then you kind of will know what to look for. If you've already taken an online class with Sky or with KCTCS before, then it's probably going to look pretty familiar. But I'll put all our announcements here. Right now you can see this one that just has our due dates. I'll try to post an announcement at least once a week for our class, just kind of talking about what's coming up in the assignments you're working on and anything else that I might need to let you know about. Here is all the class information, so our syllabus and schedule are on there. This is where you'll find the quiz for you to do, and that's what's due the first week of the class. Some important dates as far as for our college, so like if you're wondering about days to still get a certain amount of refund back or those kind of things, how long you can withdraw from the class, that's what you could find here. We don't have an online, or we don't have a textbook that you have to order. You can order one if you want, but most people are just going to use the online e-textbook, so we don't really need this so much. Down here, you might need some of this help information. So this help information here is just specific to the MyLabs Plus that we use for our homework and quizzes and tests. And it goes through some ways to fix pop-ups, because you do want to allow pop-ups. Usually we don't like those, but for MyLabs that we're going to be using for our homework, all the homework boxes come up as pop-ups, so you have to make sure that you allow those. And then just some other messages that students commonly will get and kind of how to fix those. And if you're ever really having a problem that you can't seem to fix, you can always go to right here. Sorry, I knew it was here somewhere. Right here, if you click here, that's where you can go to chat with Pearson or email them or look up some different FAQs for questions other students have had, and so you can click that there. All right. And then going back to here, so the syllabus is right at the top if you need that. This is information about me, where I'm located, and all that stuff. So I am on SkyCTC's main campus, that's in Bowling Green. Of course, since we're an online class, most of the time we're going to be talking through email and Blackboard, but if you do ever want to come by my office during my office hours, you're welcome to do that. If you're a Sky student, then you also have access to tutoring on campus, so we have free tutoring on campus over in Building L in the Learning Commons. If you're at another KCTCS location, you probably also have access to free tutoring. Our course schedule is also outlined here, so you can kind of go through there and see what we're going to be doing each week. And here is some more study help. This kind of talks more about what's available at Sky, but how you can get tutoring and all that. All right, so specific for our class, what you'll probably look at the most is the chapter notes and videos. Up here are formulas that you can use for the proctored exams, so for your midterm or for your final. You may also find those useful as you're working through homework or quizzes, just to have one place where all the formulas are. I have all our notes and videos separated by chapter and unit. So unit 1 is chapter 1 and 2. So here I have chapter 1 notes. These are ones that I used in my lecture class, so they're already filled out, so you can kind of go through there and see examples and what we would have talked about if you were in my lecture class. And then I also have lecture videos that you can watch. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just watch little topics, if you want to. But they are separated by chapter. And so if you click on these, that would take you to my YouTube page, where then you could watch any of the videos that you want to. So as you can see, I've got one of those for each of our units here. This is just the link to go straight to like the YouTube page that has all the stat videos on there. If you want to go straight there, you can do that. Khan Academy is a free resource that goes over a lot of different math examples. So if you want to maybe use that to get some other feedback on how to do some of the problems we're working on, of course you're welcome to do that. Another option for online tutoring is something new that we're using called BrainFuse. And for BrainFuse, as an online KCTCS student, you actually get 7 free hours of tutoring using BrainFuse. And so 7 hours is actually a lot. When you think about on this site, they said most students, if they do a tutoring session, it's maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So 7 hours should get you through a lot of material if you need it. So you can go in here and select, what topic you're covering. Like we would be doing statistics, right? And then you can connect and try to find someone to help you out. You can take pictures and send pictures of like the problem you're working on or what you're having trouble with. And so that's a new resource that we have that is, I think, really helpful, or going to be helpful to students. So that's right here on the BrainFuse. So you can use that if you would like. And then where we're going to go for our homework and assignments is the MyLab Plus login. And so that's pretty much where all of our class is going to be. Of course, in Blackboard, I have announcements and I have our notes, but all the stuff that you're actually going to complete is going to be in the MyLabs Plus. So I also have all of this separated by chapter and unit. So if you go over here and click on Unit 1, this is going to show you all the chapters or sections that we're going to cover. If you want to click on those, that will open the e-textbook. Let me close some of these real quick. When I clicked on that, this came up, so do be aware, sometimes it's kind of a new feature. For some reason, instead of just opening a new tab, it'll bring this little note up that says, do you want to open it in a new tab? So make sure you are clicking on that. Otherwise, you might think it's not really opening, but it's just waiting for you to do that. So the e-textbook will look just like the regular textbook would, except of course it's on the computer instead of in your hand, right? But with that e-textbook, you can print pages if you would like. You can highlight pages. You can do anything that you would do with a regular textbook, right? So really, some students may not use this very much. Some students use mainly my notes and videos to get through the course, but other students do like to read through the book. The nice thing about the e-textbook is it has like videos included, right? So if you see one of these little icons, if you click on that, it'll have a video relating to this section. It's not the videos I created, but it's videos that go with the book. And then there's one other icon I want to show you. Yes, this right here says you try it. If you click on that, it's going to be a example similar to the one they just showed in the book. So if you want to work an example and see, do I understand this topic, you can do that, and then it'll kind of give you some feedback, and then you can, choose another one, whatever. But this you try it example, that does not go towards your overall homework grade. So it's just kind of for extra practice. All right, so you can click on these to get to the reading part if you want to do that. But if you just want to get to the homework and quizzes that are due, then you can click on that homework and quiz option. And then this would be all the stuff that would be due with that first unit. So our first unit is due on Saturday of the first week, all right? So we've got a few homeworks for Chapter 1, a few homeworks for Chapter 2. We have a quiz after each chapter and a test at the end of each unit. So for the most part, after every 2 chapters, you're going to have a test. You can see that for the quizzes and tests, they do have time limits over here. And they have number of attempts. So a quiz you can do 3 times. And only the best score will count. So if you make 100 the first time, then you don't need to do it the other 2 times, right? But if you want to keep working on it until you get a better grade, only the highest grade is going to count. The same thing for the test. You have 2 attempts on the test, and only the highest grade will count for that as well. When you click on these assignments here, you'll see, how many questions there are. Kind of depends on the problem or the topic we're covering. But there's this question help over here as you're working through problems. Sometimes there's more options, sometimes there's videos that are included, but on this one it has just the help me solve this, which would take you kind of step by step through how to solve the problem. And then you can also do the Ask My Instructor, which is where you can send this problem to me, and then I can email you back and let you know or give you some help on how to solve the problem. So that's some of the tools you have as you're working through the homework. All right, so going back here, some other things we've got. So all of these are just the different units you're going to be covering. Down here would be your grade book. Your grade book is going to include all your homework, quizzes, and tests from my lab. So we do have a Blackboard grade book, but it won't really have any grades in it. All your grades are going to be right here. This study plan is just optional practice problems. If you feel like you need help on a certain topic, you can go here to all chapters and then just go to whatever topic you're working on, and you can pick some here and say I want to know more about this. I can click it and do some problems related to that. Again, that's not going to affect your homework grade. That's just for extra practice. The e-textbook, this is another place you can go to get to the textbook. If you want to go just directly to a certain chapter or topic, then you can do it from the e-textbook. The multimedia library is the collection of all the videos that come straight from the book. So if I want to know what's available for chapter 1, I can choose chapter 1, all sections, and I just select all here. And then this shows me all the things that just go with chapter 1. So it's a lot of information, right? They have PowerPoint slides. Usually that's more just terminology stuff, but it's just things that come with the book. This is the actual textbook. Here are different video lectures that they have for each of the sections. And then different videos here. Sometimes they're about a specific study that's been done, or sometimes it is an actual example of how to do something. Kind of just depends. Like this right here says obtain a simple random sample using the calculator, right? So if that's interesting to you. So there's a whole lot of things you can look at. That's just for chapter 1, right? So I just want you to know that there is lots of extra help for you in the MyLabs Plus. You may or may not use it, but I want you to know that it's there if you do need the help, or you feel like you need a little extra guidance on some of the topics. And the last one here is Tools for Success. Again, just some extra information. There's a formula card, and this is the one that would come from your textbook, similar to the one that I have for your proctored exam. I have to get used to clicking on that content thing. But this is pretty much what yours looks like that you can use for the exams. You've also got down here This one's Statistics Graphing Calculator card. I like this one. It goes through how to use the calculator, and it has little screenshots of things. So this is a really nice card to look at as you're learning how to use the calculator. Of course, I go through a lot of that in my videos as well, but this is nice because it's all in one spot, you know, so you can print that off if you would like and kind of use that as you're going through some of the homework assignments. Now, the first two chapters, you're really not going to use your calculator for very much, but after that, chapter 3 and 4 and the chapters through chapter 10, you'll be using it a lot. So you do need a graphing calculator of some sort. You can also use Excel, or you can use the StatCrunch, which is included inside the MyStatLab, which is another way to do calculations. So if you'd rather do calculations on the computer by using Excel or StatCrunch, then you're welcome to do that too. But in most of my lecture videos, I kind of go over how to do this stuff in the calculator, because of course when teaching a lecture class, most of my students are using a calculator and not a computer, but I try to show it both ways. But if you ever have any questions about how to use the StatCrunch or Excel or anything like that, just feel free to let me know, and I'll try to make a video for you for that, so you can kind of see how it can be done. All right, so I know that was kind of a long video to go through everything. You may not have watched the entire video, but I just wanted you to know kind of how everything's set up for our class and where to go to find everything. As you do more of it on your own, you're going to know where to click and everything. But if you have questions throughout the first few weeks about how to get to something or where something is located, feel free to email me about that, and I'll get back to you and try to help you. We do have 2 proctored exams in this class. So we have a proctored midterm, which will be in week 4, and then we have a proctored final exam, which of course will be in week 8. And so those proctored exams you would schedule yourself, all right? So depending on what campus you're closest to, you would just find out how their proctoring testing center works. Some of the testing centers have walk-ins where you can just walk in and take a test. Other ones, like the ones here at Sky, you have to set up a date and time to come in. So you kind of just need to be familiar with that. Of course, I'll talk more about proctored exams as we get closer to week 4 and week 8, but that's just something I want you to be thinking about. For the way we have it set up right now, the proctored midterm will be chapters 1 through 5, and then the proctored final exam is just chapters 6 through 10, and both of those exams count 20%, so then overall they count 40% of your grade. And so that's kind of a new thing that we're doing in our math online courses, trying to make it so that that final exam, that one test, doesn't count for 40% of your whole grade. So we kind of split it into 2 exams, and that also allows you to study a smaller amount of material, right? So instead of having chapter 1 through 10 on a test, we break it into 2 parts, all right? But if you have any questions about the proctored exam, feel free to ask me now if you want to. You don't have to wait until week 3 or 4 to find out about it, but that is when I'll probably start messaging more about how to schedule your proctored exams. And there is some information on that here if you've never taken a proctored exam before and you have more questions. All right, so of course this is our spring break week, and I'm just kind of finishing that up. And for next week, I'm not even sure yet if we are going to be on campus or not. But the good thing is that I'm always available via email. So feel free to email me with any questions you might have. Make sure you get that Blackboard syllabus quiz completed next week by Wednesday. And so remember, that's here in the syllabus class info, and then just right there. And so you can do it as many times as you need to, but you need to make 100% on that quiz to remain in the class. All right, so I'm really looking forward to our stat class this second biterm, and I hope that you have a successful semester. And please feel free to contact me anytime you have any questions or any concerns about the class, any of the topics we're covering. because I'm here to help you succeed, right? So I'm looking forward to getting to know you, and I hope you have a great semester.